Good day everyone! Welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Melati Taliedo from BEd 3A. So today's video, let's talk about the chapter 1, lesson 2, which is the factors contributing to multi-grade, multi-age, and multi-level classroom. So let's proceed to the preliminary questions. As you proceed with this module, think about the following question. First question, is this scenario present in your community? What do you think some other factors why this scenario exists? Well, for me, honestly speaking, during our time, we didn't experience it in our community. But years passed by, other children and teachers experienced that kind of scenario. It's simply because there are lots of teachers but don't have the skills to teach multi-grade, and above all, they don't experience that kind of scenario. Next slide, think and share. So, in letter A, how is Mrs. Jones benefiting from her experience as a teacher at a multi-grade school? So, by having opportunities to genuinely help younger students to learn. Her teaching helps them clarify their own learning, the cognitive development and self-esteem of both younger and older students are improved. In letter B, if you are Mrs. Jones, how would you use the advantage of multi-grade teaching to make your workload lighter? So, if I were Mrs. Jones, I would use the advantages of multi-grade teaching to make our workload lighter by assessing what would I teach, not what they haven't taught. Because being a good educator do not allow personal bias to limit the expectation or potential of their students. Letter C. State the factors contributing to existence of some of multi-grade schools in your area. So the factors in our area is the cultural factors, socioeconomic factors, benefits of multi-grade teaching, richer learning environment, greater community involvement, development of health competition, greater understanding between learners and educator. Next slide. So, the teacher and the learners. So, in the teacher, first bullet is the promotion of learners' social skills. Then second bullet, greater understanding between teachers and learners. Then third bullet, no significant differences in academic performance between multi-grade and single-grade learners. Last bullet in teacher, a healthy competition among learners. So let's go to the learner. Children, first bullet, children who remain with the same teacher and primarily the same class for multiple years enjoy a stable and reliable environment. Second bullet, the mix of ages and abilities provide many opportunities for students to collaborate and learn from each other. Older students can take on more, makes rules, mentoring the younger students. Last bullet, family group classroom are particularly beneficial to gifted learners, struggling learners, and late bloomers. Next slide. What are the similarities among these case studies in the manner in which multi-grade teaching is practiced? So, multi-grade teaching practices in other countries, it contributes to the awareness of the potential of multi-grade teaching. B. What are the differences in how multi-grade teaching is practiced in this country? So multi-grade schools are those which have classes that combine students of different ages and different abilities in one classroom. It involves students of different ages and developmental levels with different skills and the learner's ability learn together with one teacher. Next slide. Discuss why you think multi-grade would most likely be the only type of schooling available in these communities. The term multi-grade teaching in generally refers to teaching situation where single teacher has to take responsibility for teaching pupils across more than one curriculum grade within a timetable period. Schools with multi-grade classes are referred to as multi-grade schools. Next is, let's go to the performance. First question in the performance is, now that you have learned about some of the factors contributing to the existence of multi-grade teaching, write a case study about your previous school highlighting factors that lead to the establishment of the school. If your previous school is not a multi-grade school, write about a multi-grade school that is in another community. So, my case study is happening in our previous school. This is my case study. Miss Magallanes lives in Manga Alcantara, Cebu, but teaches in a small multi-grade school in Salagmaya Elementary School. She teaches an average of 10 learners ranging from grade 1 to grade 5, and she works about 8 hours a day completing different kind of tasks. Miss Magallanes, she had a baby in the house every lunch break. She is going home to breastfeed her baby. She drive herself just to go home with her baby. But all of those challenges, she is still enjoying teaching and working in the school. Next, as a future teacher assigned to multi-grade classroom, select one of the benefits of multi-grade teaching being discussed above. So, as a future teacher assigned to a multi-grade classroom, I would select the richer learning environment. Why? Because an environment such as this provides relevant content, chances to build social skills, clear learning goals, and feedback and strategies to help students succeed by recognizing the central role of creativity as a teacher. Next slide. Reflect on your performance as a teacher someday of a multi-grade class. How can you be more effective in your class? Well, to be more effective in my class, I would prepare my handouts, learning materials on a few levels. Above all, more patient not only for the student, but ourselves instead. Next slide. Identify and discuss the factors that contribute to the establishment of multi-grade schools. First is the cultural factors. In cultural factors, students are obliged to perform certain domestic chores before they can go to school. Socio-economic factors, the children should have access to education within their own culture. In benefits of multi-grade teaching, the advantages of multi-grade classes outlined above are similar to the advantages of single-grade classes with many students. Richer learning environment is the learners of different age groups know each other better and can build supportive relationship. Next slide. Greater community involvement. In greater community involvement, the educator can ask parents to indicate what skills or knowledge they can share with the class. In development of health competition, in a multi-grade classroom, all the learners see what is taking place at the every grade level, and this may lead to self-motivation to finish their grade and move on to the next. Last is the greater understanding between learners and educators. In greater understanding between learners and educators, the learners needs not to adjust to new rules or procedures each year. Time is not wasted while teacher and learners get acquainted. Next slide. Outline and analyze the benefits of multi-grade teaching. So, in this scenario, multi-grade teaching occurs in primary education where a teacher has to teach 2 or more primary school students' grades in the same class. More generally termed are probably more accurate is that multi-grade teaching refers to the teaching of students of different ages, grades, and abilities in the same group. Older students can take on more mature roles, mentoring the younger students. So that's end for my discussion. That's all for today. Keep safe and thank you.